Hi YouTube, we have another BT12 deck profile for you. Now, today's deck profile is an undefeated in testing deck profile, the WarGreymon deck. An absolute beast of a deck. The anime guys get some love once again. And this deck is definitely just absolutely killing it. Killing everything. It's very good. I definitely recommend trying it. These are my choices for the deck. You guys will see them. Let me know anything in the comments as well. Like, comment, subscribe to the notification bell, smash potatoes. That way you know when all these Digimon videos go live. We will start with the rookies as we always do. I play for Koromon, the one that gives you 1,000. The reason why I play that one is because you need to be able to attack for magic numbers. You will not see all the time all of the Digimon in your deck that give you DP boost. But you will always see this Koromon. And that gets consistent enough to where you don't need an extra draw, in my opinion. I've seen it go either way, though. You're welcome to try BT5 Koromon if you want. However, this 1,000 does save my butt sometimes. Next, we'll play 4 copies of Agumon. Reveal top 4, add a Greymon or Omnimon, and the Tamer with Tai in the name, which is very powerful on play. I've also 0 on a Koromon, so don't pay mind to that one. And then all turns 1,000 boost. The all turns 1,000 boost comes in handy a lot because your guys are blockers in this deck, usually, most of the time. So the 1,000 does really come in handy. We do play 4 copies of Promo Agumon, plus 2,000 while you're a Greymon on your turn. Really easy numbers. You'll love to see it. And then 4 copies of Agumon X for the on-player when evolving. Reveal top 3, add a Greymon or Omnimon, and a next antibody to your hand. So there's lots of reveal top 3 do things in this deck. And I think that's just the way you should do it. 12 rookies is my magic number with mulligans right now. 12 rookies feels good. Usually you see 1 or 2 in your opening hand, or if you don't, you mulligan, then you see 1 or 2 in your opening hand again. I like it a lot. I have no complaints about this rookie lineup. Nothing else right now that I think is super needed as a rookie. So we leave it at that. That's it for the little guys. Then we go on to champions. Under the champions, 3 copies of the new Greymon. It evolves for 2 in Agumon in a name, so it's fine. When Digivolving, if you don't have Tai Kamiya in play, play 1 for free. That's why this card is good. I only play 3 copies of it, though, because it's effectively pretty well useless after that. Except for the all turns effect, where it does get 1,000 if you're Greymon or Omnimon, which you will be. So I think that that's actually pretty powerful. But, like, it's not a 4 in my opinion. A 3 is fine. Not a big deal at all. We are playing WarGreymon, so we're going a little more of an aggressive route and playing 3 copies of the starter deck Greymon. Security +1 inheritable. Card's pretty good. Let's see OTK people. You're allowed to see it. We play 3 copies of the BT9 Greymon X for the remove 2 sources of the same level protection effect. Very, very powerful protection effect, obviously. And 1 copy of the new Greymon X. That's at 1, unfortunately. Otherwise, this deck would be the actual best deck of the format. And gives you X antibody protection as an inheritable by bottom decking it. As well, reduce costs as your ultimates. 1 for each color. So let's talk about the ultimates here. The reason that this card probably went to 1, or one of the reasons went to 1, is because of this card. The 4 copies of the new Metal Greymon. It's 3 to evolve in a Greymon, so effectively, because of this card, if you evolve on it, it's a 1 cost evolution. For a very powerful ability, in my opinion. It has Raid. So if you attack a player, you can redirect the attack to an unsuspended Digimon with the highest DP. Pretty powerful effect, and then you actually get rewarded for it if you do attack with this. All turns, when attack target is switched once per turn, you can play a black or red Tamer card for the play cost 4 less from your hand for free. So you can play your Ties or your Yuya, which we play, for free. Pretty good. And then Inheritable Piercing as well. So this completely outclasses the EX1 Metal Grey with Piercing, in my opinion. This one is just better now. Completely power creeped it. I don't see a reason to play the other Metal Greymon anymore. This one is pretty good. Then we play 4 copies of the BT9 Metal Greymon X Antibody. It always gets security +1, and if there's a Metal Greymon or X Antibody in the stack, it gets plus 3,000 until the end of your opponent's turn. That matters because we're playing cards with all these 1-turn boosts like this one and the corresponding Agumon. So it's making your stack really big to the point where if it has protection, because like these cards, your opponent is not going to be able to just get rid of it. So it's going to do a lot of damage on your opponent's turn, and they can't respond to it maybe. They can't maybe attack over it or whatever. And then they can't pop up by card effects because it's protected. So it's actually really powerful and really degenerate. Big OTK brain go bird, basically. Megas. 3 copies of the new WarGreymon. It is a black-red WarGreymon, 3 to evolve on a Metal Greymon in name, so it's always 3. It has Raid, it has Wind Digivolving to the opponent's turn, it's 3000 and Reboot. So it just keeps getting bigger and more annoying to deal with. It just becomes a very freaking big tower. And then all turns once per turn, when attack target is switched, unsuspend. So people like to call this like Red Grandis right now for some reason, and that's probably why. Because if you raid, then you unsuspend, so you get another attack. Now, you have to raid. It's not like Grand K, where if you have Grand and Grand K, you unsuspend no matter what happens. You do need to be able to raid. But even without raiding, the deck still hits like a fucking truck. So 3 copies is fine. We play 2 copies of WarGreymon X Antibody, because it still is WarGreymon X. Every damage it deals, you gain a memory back. Costs 1 to evolve on a black WarGreymon, otherwise 4. If it has WarGreymon X Antibody, end of attack, pop something lower than its DP. Card is very powerful, allows you to keep playing the game, and gives you enough memory to make another play. Like, for example, our last Digimon on the deck, Blitz Omni, which is, we're playing 2 copies of it. It's an OTK deck, kind of like Ancient Greymon. I want to make sure that I have my Blitz Omnis in hand at all times. So that way, if you do the finishing blow, you can actually complete the finishing blow with the Omnimon with Blitz. It has protection too, which is fine, but like that never actually comes up. This is just an end game win button. That is it for the Digimon. Now I'm going to play something that people might not be happy about. It's 4 copies of Cool Boy. This deck at its core is still an X Antibody deck, and we still have 4 Cool Boys. So Cool Boy here, unfortunately it's not a red or a black tamer, otherwise it'd be busted. But without it, it's still fine. It's still a 2-cost tamer that usually adds a card to your hand, and then whenever you do your X Antibody evolutions, you get an memory back and draw a card. It's stupid. It's still good. It still deck thins a lot. I haven't had any FOMO yet with Cool Boy. I love it. It's great. It hasn't done anything bad to me. It's only been good to me. It's actually been kind of cool. Huh? So 4 copies is pretty good. Then we play 2 copies of the Black Tai Kamiya. I want to play a 3rd, but room is tight. This is a very tight deck. Now, Tai Kamiya is the new little tamer for the deck. It's one of the reasons the deck is a lot better. It's a good card. Start of main phase. On play. One of your Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in its name. Get 1000 DP and blocker. So if you play it, you get the effect right away. Otherwise, start a main phase, you get the effect at that point in time. Again, it makes your guy a blocker. This is how you get blocker in the deck. You just have Tai Kamiya on board, and then you always have a blocker, basically. Then your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon Greymon on the name, by suspending this, gain a memory. So it's not reduced cost, you just gain a memory back, which is super cool. And that's it for the Tai. The card is incredibly powerful. We play 1 red Tai Kamiya. It's a memory tamer, and it being a Tai, I want to have the 1 random name of it, plus a security +1. It might be the magic security number to delete your opponent from existence. And then finally, 1 copy of Yuya to round up our Tanner lineup. It is still sometimes operational as a control deck, and we're not playing BT1 WarGreymon that delicate plans your opponent on swing. So having Yuya to say, yeah, your options don't work on me this turn, I think is super important. And also the plus 2000 DP boost is all turns. To get into the option immunity, you have to evolve on the same level, and that's not a big deal. That's pretty easy to do in this deck. So 1 copy of Yuya. I don't need multiples. 1 is fine. You usually see it. If you don't see it, you're probably fine anyway. You still have protection because of Greymon X, and that's more than okay. 5 cards left in the deck, and they are options. We're playing 2 copies of X Antibody, because it is an X Antibody deck. Sometimes you do want to do battle shenanigans. A really cool combo is, let's say you're swinging with your War Grey stack. You swing, you raid, you unsuspend. Maybe you have piercing. If you have piercing, then what you can do is use X Antibody to do a lot of damage, because you'll evolve into War Grey X for 1. You'll pierce over the body that you raided over, gain the memory back, delete another body, and then you can swing again, gain more memory after you do more damage to them, and then maybe Blitz Omni or something. It's a very, very powerful combo if you can get it off. Again, it requires your opponent to play into your raid, which some decks they do. Some decks they don't, though. So you gotta be careful with that. But either way, it's an incredibly powerful strat for sure. Next antibody in this deck just goes and runs miles, basically. Then we have 2 copies of Hades Force, because this card is still broken. Only 2, because I don't know how big Quartzmon's going to be this format. This card does not kill Quartzmon, which is a little sad. So we got to see what happens with the format. I may adjust this at a later date, depending on how many Tamer decks appear, because we don't play Black WarGreymon, right? We don't play it. So we can't pop Tamers with it. We can only pop Tamers with Hades Force. And popping Tamers is really powerful, especially Beelzemon plays Iron Makos, Red Hybrid plays with Tamers. You know what I mean? Shine Greymon plays Tamers. This deck plays Tamers. Pretty good deck. So 2 Hades Force for now, mainly for the big wide pop. And if Hunters is good too, this is a really good card. So we'll see what happens. I might adjust the deck to play 3 copies of this if the format needs it. Otherwise, I may not do it. The 50th card in the deck is a copy of Red Memory Boost. All of our Digimon in the deck are red. So being able to grab something from the top 4 is pretty good. Then you can delay for memory plays later if you need them. And that's going to do it for the deck profile. This deck is very strong. And like I mentioned, it is undefeated. Undefeated. You want to know what I beat with this deck? I have beaten Beelzemon with a Myotismon Spice and Machine Dramon. Yeah. This reminds me of that time that I uploaded that Ragnar Zoo undefeated deck profile with only 1 match under its belt. That's a joke. While I haven't done any playtesting with this deck, and usually I wouldn't upload something with such a low win rate, I did want to get this out there because this deck is stupid powerful. I'm sure by the time this video goes live, I'll have a few more games under it. It'll be fine. Anyway, let me know what you think about that profile, guys. I think it's really cool. I like it a lot. It is definitely powerful. It will be tier 1. You will see it everywhere. Take care, guys. Bye.